CBI had informed the court that they are unable to take this particular detail which the CBI has given to the court. What is your reaction?
From the investigation point of view, I think it is a big blunder that the agency has committed. From the prosecution point of view, I think this puts a big hole in the prosecution case of the size of a lunar crater, I have already stated. From the defense point of view, right, we will take whatever legal advantage that gives us or legal mileage that this gives us, we will definitely do that in the court. Having said that, I want to emphasize here that last 3 dates, the witness is in box and the witness is stalled only because the CBI has been searching for these articles which they say are missing. Now, CBI is an extremely meticulous, responsible and a premier independent investigating agency of the central government. They don't commit blunders like this. My apprehension is whether this is a fraud played upon the CBI itself, because the records, apparently it seems that none of the officers of the CBI had ever physically, visually seen these articles. They have always been in sealed boxes. Now the chain of custody will establish from whom the Central Bureau had received these articles, whether they received it from the AIIMS, whether they received it from the JJ hospital or from the Nair hospital. The chain and the paper trail will establish this. However, the report in respect of these articles is completely in favor of the defense, in as much as the witness who had analyzed these articles, the anatomy department expert, forensic expert, the expert has already given a report that the gender and gender or sex of the body remains of which have been examined is inconclusive. The age of the body is inconclusive, and the cause of death is inconclusive. Now, in view of this, I think from the defense point of view, we will take advantage and we will get advantage. However, the question is, why was the CBI not diligent in depositing these articles in the court? Because the process is that these have to be deposited in court. So if they had deposited, then where did it go? If it was in their malkhana, then where did it go, and why did they not deposit these articles in the court? Now, in whose custody they were last seen or observed or recorded is what the paper trail will establish. But I think this weakens the prosecution case, and this will to a great extent go to the root of the entire prosecution. And right from day one, we have been maintaining that there is no body, there is no skeleton, and the initial investigating agencies have completely falsely implicated my client, which is Indrani Mukherjee, and have forced her to undergo a pre-trial incarceration or as an under trial for 6.5 long years. We have been maintaining that from day one she is completely innocent. You see the developments in this matter, piece by piece, the manner in which the prosecution evidence has itself demonstrated to be fabricated. For example, even the DNA reports. The DNA reports were fabricated. The DNA expert was suspended in a subsequent matter, right? For same fabrication of the DNA reports and the forensic evidence. Now, couple of witnesses also stated that they were forced to identify Indrani Mukherjee in the identification parade when the original witnesses had never identified her. Now, why does an investigating agency need to fabricate evidence and force witnesses to depose against a particular person when there is a great level of evidence of innocence of that particular person? This is not how investigating agencies are supposed to behave. So again, the question remains, who are these powerful forces who so desperately want Indrani Mukherjee to be behind bars or thrown to the gallows, right? And why is a great question.